youthful conviction and look really good. And if they carry on in that vein, then I think better things are in store this season.
We saw there the Indonesian 11 inexperienced lineup that is being fielded. 8 of the match started against Arsenal in the week when they were beaten 7-0, including the goalkeeper and the back 4. The uncapped Hasim Kipu features today. It is a side that only have 3 international goals between them, and we'll talk about the formation they played against Arsenal and perhaps the need to change that today very shortly. Mohamed Nafiz bin Abdul Wahab is the man who takes charge. He's from Malaysia, and as far as Liverpool are concerned, as you might expect, it's a pretty strong team that Brendan Rodgers is fielding today. All 4 of the summer signings start with Simon Mignolet in goal, Kolo Touré partnering Daniel Agger at the back, Luis Alberto in midfield, and Iago Aspas leading the line. Steven Gerrard, who didn't feature in the win at Preston, is also in the side. Luis Suarez and Sebastian Coates weren't in contention to be picked after linking up with the squad late following their involvement in the Confederations Cup. And Suarez and Coates, when they play on this tour, their first game potentially would be the one against Melbourne Victory in the week. Well, Liverpool in their change kit today, but it is effectively a home fixture for them. It will feel like it because the noise that's emanating around the 88,000 capacity crowd here in Jakarta, solid Liverpool songs you can hear, You'll Never Walk Alone, in the background now.
Anfield, Jakarta, it's been fanatical, and ever since they've arrived, I think everybody concerned with the club have been astonished by the welcome they've received and the amount of Liverpool support.
Well, on paper you would imagine that this should be an easy run out for Brendan Rodgers' side. Arsenal winning 7-0 against pretty much this same set of players during the week. Liverpool will be slightly more rested than their Indonesian counterparts, who are ranked as a national side around the 170 mark in the world. Nevertheless, they did hold the Dutch goalless through the first 55 minutes of an international back in June in an exhibition game that was played here in Jakarta. Liverpool kicking from right to left in this first half, trying to get the ball forward towards Coutinho. Dealt with successfully at the back by Robbie. And Taufik playing on the right-hand side of midfield is the player that wins the throw.
Well, it looks as if they have changed a little bit. You intimated me before, Jim, that they didn't get things right against Arsenal. They showed Arsenal way too much respect, didn't press them at all across midfield. And it looks tonight as if Bonai is just going to play a little deeper behind Van Dijk and just try to give them a little bit more in midfield and maybe stop Liverpool from dominating as Arsenal certainly did.
What are the key questions that Brendan Rodgers will want answered from his players today? What are the things that he will be a little bit uncertain about, where he will want to have his opinion polarised?
Well, I mean, we're at the stage, remember, where conditioning really is all important at the moment. But I think certain areas of the side, particularly Kolo Touré and Daniel Agger, he'll be looking for those two to forge a quick understanding together. And obviously the newcomers, Luis Alberto and indeed Iago Aspas, got away with that Indonesia as well there. I think getting those integrated as quickly as possible is very important towards Liverpool. So I think those are his probably the more important issues at this moment in time.
It's Kipu. Daniel Agger getting the better of Titus Bonai. He's only won 3 international caps. I think he's regarded as one of the better players in this side. He's got Sergio Van Dijk, who's a Dutch national who's recently pledged his international career to the Indonesians. He will be playing just behind them. But there's an illustration of just the amount of Liverpool support. I think there'll be a replica shirt left in Asia by the end of this tour.
It is quite phenomenal, it really is, and it just goes to show you from what Liverpool have done over the years that the global success they've had, it invites a global audience, and certainly in the Far East it's strong and very healthy.
A roar of anticipation when Steven Gerrard's name was read out on the tannoy about 15 minutes or so ago. And same when he picked up the ball there. Liverpool with an early corner. Plenty of possession, and that will be key. And of course, one of the other keys of any pre-season friendly is that the likes of Lucas or anybody else don't pick up any injuries, although he's quickly back on his feet, I'm pleased to say there. There's Enrique. Gerrard. 15 years now since he made his Liverpool debut, a career that has spanned 630 games for the club since then.
Yeah, and I think for the newcomers like Mignolet, Aspas, Luis Alberto, Kolo Touré, I think they'll probably be stunned by what they're experiencing here. You know, whatever clubs they've been at in the past, and this is a completely new experience, and an idea, a little insight as to what's involved when you do sign for a Liverpool Football Club. Expectations rocket.
Alberto. Flitted in and out of the game against Preston last weekend, Luis Alberto. I mean, aside from Sevilla and a deal that cost Liverpool best part of £7 million. He was loaned to Barcelona's B team last season, where he netted 11 goals in the second division, and he's moved to England with a decent goal-scoring record for a player who plays in his position. Goal about every 3.5 games is a tidy return. Bastomi. Mohamed Roby, the captain, and most experienced on the international stage of these Indonesian players. He's won a couple of dozen caps.
It's a big test of character for these lads as well, because, you know, they've come off a hammering from Arsenal, a bad taste in their mouth from the English Premier League. And here they go again, you know, against a side that's very capable of working the ball and keeping it for longer spells.
Good awareness from Aspas. Coutinho. Robert's clearance returned by Aga. Aga's been the subject of some speculation online today, with reports that Barcelona are considering to be contemplating making a bid for him. Tappert with the initial ball forward. Here's Kipu. There's Bonai on the overlap, and had Van Dijk to aim at, and very calmly dealt with by Glenn Johnson.
Yeah, he had a little look around. I think he realised it was under no pressure, Glenn Johnson. He had time to just chest that back to the goalkeeper. But that's encouraging from an Indonesian viewpoint, in terms of they've been able to work the ball a little bit and get forward with a little more kind of intent themselves. I think they need that just to give themselves a lift, really, for what's to come.
Indonesia in the middle of qualification program for the 2015 Asian Cup at the moment. Although they've lost both of their games so far, they're back in business in terms of competitive international matches in October, with a double header against China before Iraq visit this stadium in November. And their recent results not too impressive. They did lose 10-0 in a World Cup qualifier earlier last year to Bahrain. Here's Enrique. Just too far ahead of Downing, who've made a good run forward.
And it'll be interesting to see what they resort to again, Indonesia, if they are put under pressure, because against the Gunners it was a case of just defend the 18-yard, the width of the 18-yard box, really, with two lines of four. But I think it's imperative that Bonai gets back and helps out. I think they were just outnumbered by Arsenal across midfield and paid for it.
Downing seen plenty of the ball in the early stages. And the offside flag up against Glenn Johnson.
Yeah, just got caught. I think when it was played, he was marginally offside. I think it's a correct call. But that's the way that kind of side works when Downing plays there, because Johnson loves to overlap. We know that. His desire to get forward. Downing likes to come in on his left foot, so the combination can work well.
Lucas. Matches against Melbourne, Victory and Thailand still to come on Liverpool's tour of this part of the world. Building on what was a very impressive performance against Preston last week. Alberto. Coutinho. Nicely done by Enrique. And Coutinho muscles his way through and gives Liverpool a 10th-minute lead. Really well taken goal.
Yeah, applause on the bench. Colin Pascoe, Brendan Rodgers' right-hand man. No surprise there, but I think he got a little bit of fortunate with a ricochet that ran nicely for him into his path. But I love the little piece of skill when it looked as if the move was just about to break down. I love the piece of skill from Jose Enrique to work it back to Coutinho. Now just watch here as he plays it. Defender plays it straight back off his chest, and it runs beautifully for him. Now it's a case of just picking a spot, and it's low to the goalkeeper's left. It's difficult for him to get down and get something on it. Squeezes through the little gap he's left between arm and body, and he takes it very well, Coutinho. That's a big break, though. That really is good fortune. You can say it's not the best defending from Roby, but extremely well taken.
They scored the winner against Queen's Park Rangers on the final day of last season, Philippe Coutinho. Fair to say, several seasoned watchers of Italian football weren't too sure that he was the right man for Liverpool when he came to the club from Inter Milan. And also, fair to say that he's ran most of that criticism back down the throats of those who weren't so sure, myself included, I hasten to add.
Yeah, I think he's a gem. I really do think he can be an incredible buy with the money they got him for as well, because the little taster we got last season looked fantastic, and really he's so young as well.
There he is again. Only 21 years of age.
I actually don't like him in that position, Jim. I'll be honest with you. I think from what I saw last season, saw him play the wider role. Much prefer him in that kind of, I know he's wearing number 10, but in that number 10 role we associate with being central behind the striker. I think that's where he can do most damage. But he's just making way tonight for Alberto to play in that position.
This time he wins a free kick. It's Jackson F. Thiago, the Brazilian-born coach of Indonesia, who has spent his entire career in this part of the world.
Yeah, he was caught then, Coutinho. But he's a bag of tricks. And I saw him a few times last season. What I love about him as well is he's one of those players that seems to kind of have time to be able to take in what's around him and kind of realise who's positioned where, and it just kind of gives him just an extra half a second in tight areas. And that with that close technical ability he has, that close control, and the tricks, then he's just potentially, you know, a creative superstar.
telling you that Gerrard's in possession. Johnson able to make his way forward now, and Aspas just couldn't quite get there in time. They're not taking any chances, happy to concede a corner.
I thought there was just a moment's hesitation from Mignolet. I thought maybe he could have been on it a little bit quicker and maybe got there first, but in the end he's done enough.
No doubt now that he will be first choice goalkeeper next year. Liverpool still to officially confirm Pepe Reina's loan move to Napoli. And Jim's thoughts on that bit of transfer business in a moment. Kipu with the corner, and it was met by Titus Bono, despite the fact that the Liverpool defenders were all towering over him. He did get the header in.
Yeah, maybe should have got a little more control on it as well, Bono. And Mignolet had every right to have a little moan at one or two of his teammates for allowing that run to happen near post.
I think the time was right for Liverpool to bring in a new first-choice goalkeeper ahead of this season, then?
Yeah, I mean, I was only asked the other day by a Liverpool fan, do I think that Pepe Reina will go? And I'm afraid the answer is yes, I think he will. I mean, you mentioned Napoli in the link there. There was talk as well of Barcelona, but Valdez decided to see out the last year of his contract. So there was no move from Barcelona. But yeah, I think the writing was on the wall. And I think importantly as well, Jim, Liverpool have learned from the mistake they made in allowing Andy Carroll go when he did, not having somebody in to replace him. So they're being ultra sure, I think, on these occasions in getting somebody in, you know, if they're looking at selling somebody else. And I think, yeah, Reina, I think, is almost certain to go.
That's perhaps another one of the 4 players brought in by Brendan Rodgers so far, who was asked whether there would be any more new faces between now and September the 2nd, when the transfer window shuts. The quote was, well, nothing is close, but plenty of work is going on. So in other words, yes.
Yeah, and of course there's a huge topic with regard to Luis Suarez too.
Titus Bono emerging past Gerrard's challenge with possession. Toure stuck to his task. Downing will be able to complete the clearance. Yeah, so much does depend on Suarez, with reports of a £30 million bid from Arsenal having already been rejected.
It'll need 10 more for his clause to be triggered. If 40 million is bid, then you know it's impossible to keep the player. I think it's disappointing that he's expressed the desire to go. Understandable.
As Downing tries his luck, and the deflection takes it over the bar for another Liverpool corner.
I was going to say understandable with Real Madrid as one of the potential clubs, or the potential club, but I think if Liverpool can manage to keep him and keep him with the right attitude, I think it's even more important, because he's the kind of guy that will help you get back in one of those Champions League places.
Corner eventually taken from the left wing rather than the right, and cleared for Mofu. Offside flag up against Bono.
Yeah, just lost his bearings, Bono. It's very important just to keep an eye on where the defensive line is and trying to provide an option, but you've got to make sure you stay on side, and he did just stray.
Continued his run forward here. It's unlucky that he couldn't get himself into a position to have a shot on goal. This is Victor Igbonefu in possession, a Nigerian-born centre-half who recently qualified for Indonesia through residency. He's played his entire career here. Made his international debut against Saudi Arabia in March, another game that Indonesia lost. But that's the only match in the last 5 they played in which they have scored. Conceded 18 in that same run of 5 games.
Yeah, I think what's making it a little more difficult to work the ball at times is you can see the pitch is actually quite bubbly. It's not a smooth running surface, unlike Deepdale, which was absolutely perfect, and Liverpool pinged it about. It's not as good tonight, and that has to be taken into account.
Kipu. Johnson doing his best to get past Matimo. Another one of the Dutch-born players in this Indonesian side. Alberto. There's a lovely turn with a drop of the shoulder, taking one opponent out of the picture. Just couldn't quite find the pass that he was looking for. Coutinho can. Disappointing ball from Enrique.
Yeah, I think you could see the little gesture with his hand there, as if to say, you know, the pitch didn't help me. Just got a little bobble. I'd certainly be blaming the pitch if I did that. Believe me, I did many a time.
In 20 minutes have given Liverpool the lead. Philippe Coutinho continuing his excellent start to pre-season with a 10th minute goal. Given away by Roby. Lucas. This pass got a second bite of the cherry, but he was always second favourite in that position. Now Kipu. Van Dijk. He made his way forward from left back, but Stuart Downing back to cover. Downing back covering again. I think he was judged just to have run that one out of play. Well, corner's gone against him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he's having a little moan. I think it could have been an assistant on the far side who's just taking a bit of a guess on that one.
Indonesia's second corner. Bonai, like the first one, winning it in the air. He's been the danger man so far, Titus Bonai. Bonifo tried to help it fall, and Alberto saw the challenge coming. No foul on Coutinho. Roby for Kipu. Alberto. Running off the ball from Aspas.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. Impressed with his energy so far. I mean, he really is trying to get involved. He's not seen a huge amount of it, Aspas, but he really is putting himself about, trying to make sure he provides enough options.
Is Sanari. Now Bastomi. Bonai was the player who had gone down there. But it was a no foul by Lucas, who has possession again.
That was one of those classic moments. Jimmy knew the ball was gone. There was no way of retrieving it, so he goes to ground looking for a cheap free kick.
There's the odd empty seat here, but they are very few and far between. A crowd of best part of 88,000 here at the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium in Jakarta. In from Coutinho, the goal scorer.
Those empty seats, it could be the non-Liverpool fans feeling a little uncomfortable, you know. They just upped and left.
It must be nice going to a game where you really don't mind who wins, and you sense that that's the situation with the majority of these supporters here. I think they all travelled here knowing who was going to win as well, Mike. Here's Bonai. Van Dijk waiting in the middle. Agger made sure the ball didn't get that far. Now Sanadi. Free kick given against Gerrard. Couldn't hide his dismay.
Yeah, how much was he caught? He's a little bit high, I suppose. Steven Gerrard is there, doesn't get the ball, and does catch the number 2, Sanadi.
He made his debut for the last 10 minutes of last month's game against Holland. Ruben Sanadi, a versatile player down that left flank. First defensive test really for Mignolet and co from a set piece. In from Bastomi. Bonai almost inevitably the target. Got his bearings wrong.
Yeah, he might have been just trying to kind of get a little flick on it, Bonai front post, but maybe he would have been better off just dummying it. Let it go across the six-yard box and see what happened.
Toure and Johnson just leaving it for each other for a moment. Lucas. Alberto. Gerrard, Coutinho. Downing. Happy to come in off that flank to give Johnson more space. Here's Enrique on the other side for Liverpool. That's a good ball in as well. Downing couldn't quite get that. The initial effort from Stuart Downing saved. Sharp piece of goalkeeping by Kearney and Mega.
Yeah, and Jose Enrique's done very well again, but you know, you had to take it first time when it came to him, Downing, and he just kind of prodded at it really, so it lacked the force to squeeze past the keeper.
It's something that is often mentioned about Stuart Downing's play. It's only 3 Premier League goals in his 2 years at Anfield. Is that a problem, per se?
Yeah, and it certainly was when, I mean, at the start of last season, the issue for Brendan Rodgers, as something he needed to correct, was the goal scoring, because it had been a problem the season before, and he certainly did that. But yeah, Downing, I thought Downing improved last season, but I don't think he's ever hit the heights that he's got. And again, maybe he's just one of those players that, again, when you join a huge club like Liverpool, that he's found it hard to really settle in and feel a part of it. He's never consistently delivered the high standard that they clearly felt he was capable of.
Played nearly half an hour in hot, humid conditions, and Liverpool have the lead, but they haven't created too many other chances. Bonai again trying to cause problems. He certainly has a battle on the advantage in terms of pace with Kolo Touré. It's Coutinho's faded out of the game a little bit after a very bright start.
Yeah, Liverpool not quite working the ball as well as we saw on a better surface at Deepdale. And I think you have to add as well that I think Indonesia are a little more kind of wary, less naive, and they certainly are working much harder for me. I think they're putting in a better shift. So I think the combination of the two is making this look a bit tighter. I mean, the next step, I suppose, for this Indonesian 11 now is to just try and put a few passes together in the opposition half. And I mean, Simon Mignolet won't want to be too busy, but at the same time, you'd like to see him worked a little. So let's see what he's got. And he needs to develop an understanding as well with his back four and keeping them in line. So I think as the pre-season goes on, I think certainly Liverpool will be tested more in that regard. He's a guy that he's already commented on. He feels already much better than he did last season, Lucas, after returning from the injury. Now he's got a pre-season, all the running under his belt, and there's a kind of a better edge to his fitness.
Aspas finding Alberto, who hits the bar.
Well, that's a little glimpse as to why Brendan Rodgers has gone from it. It's lovely feet, you know, and he goes for those technical players, the technicians. I thought it was lovely the way Alberto just got that back inside on his right foot, and he's very unlucky. It glances and goes high, but the keeper was beaten all ends up. But this is nice skill, coming back inside Roby again, and bang, unlucky.
Very versatile player as well, Luis Alberto. Another one of the characteristics that Brendan Rodgers clearly admires in players, the ability to be able to fit into the jigsaw in 2 or 3 different places.
Yeah, he played a kind of a deeper role when he came on at Preston, and now he's kind of playing that more advanced position.
Sanadi. Van Dijk. Well worth a shot on goal from distance, and it was a decent save from Mignolet.
It was a really good save, and it's out of the blue. I'm thinking when he's lining this up, Van Dijk, that very ambitious, you know, from that kind of range, but he got real power behind that, and that's the Belgian at full stretch then. Just a little bit of bend as well away from, might have been just creeping past or striking the woodwork, couldn't take that chance. Mignolet, that's a fine stop.
He's prolific in Australian club football, Sergio Van Dijk. Matimo. Towards Van Dijk again, didn't quite fall for Roby as Enrique cleared his lines.
Yeah, when the ball came in from the corner, I'm not sure Mignolet needed to get involved in that. When he came into a ruck of players, I think he would have been better off just kind of stepping back and staying on his line on that one.
Coutinho. Van Dijk does have a very good goal-scoring record. Since it's his ability to be able to make the most of half chances like that that mark him down as a decent player at the level that Indonesia's national side are. Another one of the Dutch-born players in the Indonesia setup. Oh, ricocheting back off Glenn Johnson here for Coutinho. Losing out.
That's the problem Indonesia have got, though. If ever they have a little opportunity to maybe try and get at Liverpool on the break, they're not picking their passes, or they're getting caught offside. They just see little mistakes. They just seem to get a little excited about things rather than retain a composure and just make sure they hold on to it. But I mean, you know, this is a good workout for Liverpool. The heat, of course, is a factor, and I imagine you would see substitutions, if not all at half-time, then certainly into the second half.
Gerrard. Looking for the free kick. Igbonefo is the defender. Aspas can't find a way through when he passed to Alberto to his left-hand side to play him in.
Yeah, and I think he had to hang on to it initially as well, Steven Gerrard, because I'm not sure exactly who it was. I think it was Downing was in an offside position. I think ideally he wanted to play that ball to begin with and couldn't.
There's Downing over the top again, and this time Gerrard's offside.
Yeah, just off. Good run. You don't see the kind of trademark bursts that once upon a time he did with such brilliance and regularity. Steven Gerrard, he's kind of tailored his game more now, and he picks his moments to make those darts forward. But especially with Jamie Carragher gone now, Jim, I think, you know, he's even more important. Yes, he's the skipper anyway, but I think he's probably going to have to be a little more vociferous himself now, Steven Gerrard, in the season to come.
Fouled by Van Dijk.
Nice to see that. I always like a centre-back that has the confidence to step out like that, and he certainly is clipped by the centre-forward. I played alongside a guy who was extremely good at doing that himself, in Alan Hansen.
Here's Johnson. Third corner for Liverpool. In from Downing. Toure had been the target.
Yeah, it was just a little too low, though. He just needed to get a bit more loft on that, Downing.
Free kick to Liverpool. Gerrard for Johnson. And back towards Downing, who was onside, and Liverpool have another corner.
Yeah, Indonesia claiming that when Downing received that he was offside, and the assistants ignored it.
The goalkeeper came out, took Van Dijk out. Got the ball clear though, back from Downing.
That's very disappointing. I thought the goalkeeper did well. Mega, very strong and courageous on that front post. And he took a little blow from Kolo Toure in the process as well. I think, you know, when a manager, and I think in Brendan Rodgers' case, when you introduce new personnel to your side and new signings at that, you're hoping for the magic to work and for everything to kind of click together, but it's unrealistic. I mean, this is what they need: time on the pitch together, just develop little understandings, and they'll all be better for this experience, believe me. And he's kind of had enough out wide, hasn't he, Coutinho? Now he wants to kind of ferret inside and get on it more.
Here's Alberto. Hoping to hear the referee's whistle there. There will be many changes, of course, and many changes when Arsenal played here during the week. And indeed, it was only 1-0 to Arsenal at half-time in that game. They ended up scoring 6 unanswered goals in the second half with a real mix-and-match team.
Yeah, it brought a freshness and an energy to what Arsenal were contributing, and certainly it paid huge dividends for them. Indonesia kind of went into collapse mode, didn't they, in the end? That dream team, as they were called last week. What happened to that? This is now just an Indonesian 11.
And the next game will be an Indonesian nightmare 11 if they get a hammering in the second half again here. We've all had dreams like that. Alberto, now Enrique. Flips over the top by Alberto. That was good understanding between him and Gerrard, even if the execution of the move didn't quite come off.
Yeah, Gerrard is almost pointing as to where he wants him to play it. Just a little dink over the top and try to get round on it.
More space in midfield now with Gerrard having pushed forward. Thomas Bonai gets himself offside.
And not for the first time. You know, he keeps falling into that trap. He's got to be more aware and get his head up. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's got his back to it then, and he had strayed when it was played.
And the idea right by Coutinho as he looked for Iago Aspas. Aspas, who scored on his debut at Preston last week. 50 senior goals at club level at a rate of almost exactly 1 every 3 games. And 12 in the Spanish top division last season for Celta Vigo. Here he is, almost. The architect to an own goal from Mig Bonifo, whose header stranded his goalkeeper, who's very relieved to see that one come back off the hoardings behind the goal.
Yeah, I don't think it was his best strike, though. He seemed to scoop it with his left foot a little bit, Aspas, and I'm not sure it was going to be that threatening anyway. I think it was pretty soft had it gone through towards the keeper, but Bonifo, I think, just glad to see it go past the post and gone into that net.
Outswinger from Downing. Set pieces have been poor from Liverpool so far.
Yeah, I mean, some of the delivery has not been great. I commented on that earlier on. Downing wasn't kind of clearing the front post, and yeah, it's something that can be worked on. But you know, I'm sure it will be addressed. If ever you have that problem, then before the next game, then there's usually kind of a couple of hours maybe spent on it through the week, and you try and sort it.
Alberto. Taufik. Roby.
think that's a good thing as well about this particular game, Jim, in that the opposition don't look like hurting Liverpool too much. So, you know, even if you make mistakes or two, you can still regroup, get behind it, and keep this Indonesian 11 at bay. So I think it's up to Liverpool really to dictate whatever they want from this game. You know, dodgy pitch or not. I know it's warm too, but I think there's certainly more there if Liverpool really want to turn it on. Of course there is.
Gerrard. Inside the final minute of the first half. Strong Liverpool side named from the off. Brendan Rodgers, but expect that many of the substitutes will be used. Saidi, Henderson, Spearing, Allen, Barini, Sterling, Kelly, Skirtle, Flanagan, Wisdom, Robinson and Ivy. The outfield substitutes, and we'd imagine that most, if not all of them, will get a run out at some stage. Brad Jones, the substitute keeper today. Layoff from Alberto. 1 extra minute at the end of this first half. Coutinho, blocked by Roby. Downing. Coutinho. Enrique towards Aspas, difficult one for him to deal with because he sat up awkwardly. He bounced on the edge of the area. Liverpool will end the half with a corner.
Yeah, and a chance maybe to just, you know, add another one before the whistle blows for half-time. I think Brendan Rodgers will be pleased with the attitude from his players and the application. I think you probably want a little more, though, in terms of precision, you know, up front.
Gerrard with his latest corner. Back in from Coutinho. And he had away from Aspas. A worthwhile 45 minutes for Liverpool, no doubt about that. Philippe Coutinho giving them the lead after 10 minutes, but not too many worthwhile chances being created in the 35 minutes since then. Luis Alberto had a wonderful effort which skimmed off the top of the bar, and Mignolet was forced into action at the other end, denying Sergio van Dijk. Liverpool strolling at the moment. The half-time score, Indonesia 0, Liverpool 1.
Looking for an easier way to place your next bet? Look no further than CenterBet, your home of mobile betting. CenterBet's app for iPhone is easy and convenient to use, giving you access to thousands of markets across racing and your favourite sporting events, plus the latest live odds. It's easy. 1. Go to the App Store. 2. Download the free CenterBet app. 3. Place your next bet with CenterBet. It's that simple. Download the app now. CenterBet, your home of mobile betting.
All day at the shop, then a night of Baz, wages, creditors, and reconciling the bank accounts. I can't remember the last time I made it home in time for dinner with the kids.
Give us your books, and we'll give you back your life.
I'm behind on invoicing, and my husband's suppliers are chasing him for payments. There has to be a better way to manage our accounts.
So give us your books and we'll give you back your life.
Are you struggling to balance the bookkeeping side of your business? Call First Class Accounts now. Our professional national network of qualified bookkeepers can take the stress away by expertly managing your bookkeeping in as little as a couple of hours a week. We can come to you, and the first consultation is completely free. Let First Class Accounts look after your books so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
So give us your books and we'll give you back your life.
Call First Class Accounts now on 1300 76 3306 or visit firstclassaccounts.com for your free consultation.
Golf stock take sale now on at Golf World and Golf Mart. $19.99 for these Srixon or Brosnan balls. Buy one, get one free. Sensational. Hot buy. Tailor-made or Adams drivers sacrificed for $179. Famous quality Nike polos. Buy one and get one free. Stock up now on Pro Sim and gloves. 3 for $20. Amazing. Hurry into your nearest store. Sale ends soon.
For half-price golf, go to greatrounds.com.
Personal goals have to reflect the team goal, to reflect a team outcome.
It's all about evaluating your performance and how you can get better. Be able to set structures and plans just like any business. It's not only for the now but for the future as well.
Some weeks you're fortunate enough to achieve your goals and walk off the park really happy with that.
If performance matters to your business, you should ask a broker about Vero Insurance.
Australia. It's famous for its vast interior, celebrated for its rugged outback. But the truth is, our home is defined by the sea. From the west,
Perth is literally booming, even though it's one of the most isolated cities on the planet.
Across to the east,
Sydney, once a convict colony carved out of rock. It now stands as a beacon of prosperity.
Because it's here, close to the sea, that we not only survive, but thrive.
From the top end to the southern shores, for as long as we've been here, we've been living on the edge.
I'm Andrew Bales.
I'm Paul Carter.
I'm Giovanna Fasanelli.
I'm Matt McLaughlin. Join us as we explore our unique story.
Australia is full of great stories. The epic new 6-part local production, Australia, Life on the Edge, world premiere Sunday, August 18 on National Geographic Channel.
The stars of the game continue tournament play in Melbourne.
People lose a lot of money playing these kind of tournaments.
It's really tough to beat these guys. It's fun to measure yourself against the best.
Team competition is over, and now it's a one-on-one winner-take-all showdown.
I'm all in.
The 2013 World Series of Poker Asia Pacific $50,000 High Roller. Tonight on ESPN.
And the Union strike!
Calm yourself. This is one angry Whopper. Introducing Hungry Jack's Angry Burgers with fiery hot sauce, angry onions, and spicy jalapenos. So hot and angry, you'll need to keep calm. The burger's better at Hungry Jack's.
Welcome back to the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium in Jakarta. Who do you think they want to win? Well, Liverpool are winning at the moment in their match against an Indonesian 11, 1-0 the half-time score. I'm in the company of Jim Beglin this afternoon. Liverpool getting the ball in the net in the early stages. Glenn Johnson flagged offside as Iago Aspas had the ball in the net. Not that Liverpool had to wait too long until they took the lead. Glenn Johnson was offside. It was a very good finish by Aspas. But within 2 minutes, Liverpool had the advantage. Jim, scored by Philippe Coutinho.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, he took it very well. Whatever about the way the goal came about, he still had to do the business and finish it off. And I thought he was clinical in that regard and very clever. I mean, it looked as if the move was just going to break down when it went to Enrique there. But brilliantly the way he worked himself out of trouble. And then there's the little bit of luck. It's not great defending from Roby, but nonetheless, once it came off his chest, you have to retain a composure about it. You have to make sure you pick your spot and do things with intent, and Coutinho went on to do exactly that. This is the little break. Thanks very much. Now he's away. It's not read by Kipu, the right back. The 13 just kind of lets him go, and once he has that space, it's a case of just making sure, getting enough behind it. And Maega just couldn't do enough. I think it's difficult as well for keepers, isn't it, when it's kind of just in that area, you know, you're just beside the body, can't get the arm down in time, and that little hole that was between arm and body he found. And Liverpool probably at that stage deserved to be ahead.
But they didn't create another meaningful chance for the next 15 minutes or so, which perhaps would have been one of the disappointing aspects of the first half performance. The next player to be denied, Liverpool's Stuart Downing.
Yeah, well, I said that to you. I think at half-time, if anything, Brendan Rodgers would like a little bit more precision in what Liverpool are doing going forward. That was difficult because he couldn't be sure as he made the run, Downing, that there wasn't going to be a touch by Aspas or indeed one of the defenders or the goalkeeper, and the fact that it just came out to him and he had to react to it so quickly, it was difficult to get any control on it or any real power to find the net.
The closest the Liverpool came to scoring a second goal was one of the new signings, Luis Alberto. A wonderful piece of skill, engineering the chance for himself, and he ended up being just inches away.
Yeah, well, I like the way Aspas as well dropped a little bit deep. You know, I think he's working hard. He was the one that made himself available for the Gerrard pass and then picked out a nice little ball to his compatriot Alberto. And this is a lovely little piece of skill, the way he danced back inside Roby and struck it ever so well. And I just think he's very unfortunate to see that rise slightly high to glance over the crossbar, and unfortunately it just hit that side as opposed to the underside.
Liverpool's two signings at the other end of the field haven't had too much to do. In fact, the first meaningful save that Simon Mignolet's had to make in the Liverpool shirt. Good shot from Van Dijk.
Well, I didn't think it was going to come from Van Dijk because I think he knew that Jose Enrique was just behind and closing him down, and he's just struck one very, very quickly, and Mignolet had to be on his toes, and he was set well to deal with it, and that's a good stop from him in the end, but it's about the only thing he's had to do really that's tested him whatsoever.
And Liverpool could have doubled their advantage just before half-time. Again, Iago Aspas was heavily involved. Perhaps not the best of shots, but Bonifo almost turned it into his own net.
Well, if you look at the goalkeeper, Maega, he's actually on his way to try and deal with the effort. And he's completely wrong-footed when it comes off the head of Bonifo, and I think all relief to see that go wide.
So, Liverpool lead, courtesy of that goal from Philippe Coutinho. The subs out warming up, and we'll find out who's on for the second half next here on ESPN.
Looking for an easier way to place your next bet? Look no further than CenterBet, your home of mobile betting. CenterBet's app for iPhone is easy and convenient to use, giving you access to thousands of markets across racing and your favourite sporting events, plus the latest live odds. It's easy. 1, go to the App Store. 2, download the free CenterBet app. 3, place your next bet with CenterBet. It's that simple. Download the app now. CenterBet, your home of mobile betting.
Babe, bacon toothpaste?
Love bacon? Get into Red Rooster and get into our great value $3 bacon chili cheeseburger, part of the new Bacon Lovers collection. Limited time only at Red Rooster.
The 90s were a time when nothing compared to music. It was the perfect time to be alive. The young, beautiful people were crazy when it came to block rock and beats. You could have been a dummy, you could have been a creep, and definitely maybe were sucking kisses from the other teen spirits. They were dangerous, and the world was massive. From the man on the moon to the black hole sun, there was only tonight and tomorrow to regret. And if you were the better man, you had grace. Everything was everything, nothing else mattered. And whilst some raged and battled, avoiding the quiet, you found your own oasis. 90s Week, coming soon to Max.
What a start for Australia.
Stand shoulder to shoulder for the Tour of England on Fox Sports.
See the concentration there.
A live experience in high definition.
Australia have been ruthless all day today.
With every ball and wicket from the Ashes Test Series.
And exactly what Australia wanted.
It's on. Get even closer to the Tour of England. Live on Fox Sports.
After a trip around the world, the games are coming home. X Games Los Angeles, live this August on ESPN, ESPN2 and ESPN3.com.
There were signs that said no women allowed.
Half of the human race is shut out of this profession for no good reason. It's just wrong. A woman can't possibly do this job.
I don't give a damn about the Equal Rights Amendment.
Are you gonna be soft or are you gonna be tough?
Maybe this is the time to stand up.
Men respected what she did, and that changed everything for women.
Controversial.
Tell your story to the public if you think you're innocent.
You placing bets on kids.
Tragic.
Beaten to death during a hazing incident.
He was paralyzed from the neck down.
Inspirational.
Use sports as a tool to teach life skills.
Outside the Lines is an Emmy Award-winning investigative series that examines critical issues on and off the field of play. Outside the Lines on ESPN.
The ATP Tour continues from Europe for the German Championships. It's a showcase of the top players at the famed Rothenbaum Tennis Center. The men's final, live tonight on ESPN and ESPN3.com.
If you're not watching PTI Australia, you're the one missing out. That helps you if you do some research. And
I've not done research for 11 years.
Well,
why start now? I feel like Greg Norman at the US Open.
We'll have bad days. Move on.
For the umpteenth time this year, and since you played in the grand final, don't tell me to shut up. This is a kids program.
All right. Catch it Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN. As always, you know it makes sense.
And the Union strike!
Underway then for the second half. Liverpool leading 1-0. Philippe Coutinho's 10th minute goal, the difference between the two sides, with Liverpool in their change kit of predominantly dark blue and white, kicking from left to right in this second half.
Yeah, and already it looks as if Luis Alberto has gone to the left side and Coutinho has come centrally, which, you know, I spoke about in the first half as well. I think that's where he can do most damage, and I think an indication that Brendan Rodgers wants a little bit more craft and guile from that area.
Strong challenge by Lucas, the free kick given to Indonesia. Only won 4 games since the start of last year, which is against East Timor, Brunei, Mauritania and Singapore, the ones that they've won. Confirmation of the changes: Joe Allen on for Steven Gerrard and Jack Robinson on for Enrique. Roby playing himself into trouble there. Aspas doing very well to defend from the front and win possession back. albeit only temporarily. It's Igbonifo. Bastomi. Johnson. On back by Titus Bonet. Samadi losing out to Alberto. Continuing his run on the overlap here for Stuart Downing. Lucas. Johnson. And back on his feet and back on the ball. Luis Alberto. Indonesia, remember, conceded 6 goals in the second half against Arsenal in their last match. That's the side that's certainly less experienced than the one that Liverpool have for the second half of this one. Aspas for Downing. It's drifting into a more central position here. Luis Alberto provides the width. Johnson on the overlap for him. Liverpool have options in the middle. A hugely disappointing cross.
Yeah, I think it was always just a little too far ahead of Glenn Johnson. But again, I think that's the way in because, you know, similar to what they did against Arsenal is just defending the width of the box. So I think if Liverpool's fullbacks, Robinson now and Johnson second half, can provide the width and time their runs well, I think they can get in and get decent ball across the box.
Liverpool last season, of course, finished 7th, a 4th successive season outside the top 5. The longest such run since back in the 1950s. Confidence that that run will come to an end. Feeling that the club is moving in the right direction. Still just over 6 weeks until the transfer window shuts, and plenty of business of significance still to be done, you would think. One of the players that Liverpool understood to be targeting was Christian Eriksen of Ajax, who scored from 35 yards and set up the other 2 in Ajax's victory against Werder Bremen yesterday. But there are reports today that suggest that there is no real discernible interest after all from Liverpool, and that Eriksen won't be a player who will come to Merseyside. Nicely done by Coutinho again. Iago Aspas. Goalkeeper looked favourite. Roby not taking any chances. Cleared his lines. And Liverpool win the throw.
Mofu's had a little known, hasn't he? He felt it just came off Robinson and not him.
Downing would rather have had the ball on his left foot in that position. Johnson tried to bulldoze his way through. Clever reverse ball. Aspas flagged offside. Might have been a close call, that.
Yeah, well, he kind of waggles the finger to the assistant as if to say, no, you've got that one wrong. But that's what Brendan Rodgers will want to see, that kind of link-up play, because it's lovely movement from Aspas. And once Downing comes inside, you know, he knows where he's likely to put it. As it's played, I think it might have been just.
Kipu.
Bit of carelessness again. And you could see the frustration from Van Dijk in the box, as if to say, you know, what are you looking at? Why don't you just swing one in my way?
Ball touch from Johnson, picked up by Van Dijk. Sanadi. Agger bought his fellow defenders a little bit of time. Now Coutinho. A foul by Philippe Coutinho. Coutinho, the player that he took down, a free kick to Indonesia. Nervy moments at the back have been few and far between, as you would expect, but Agger kept honest there by the quality of cross.
Yeah, Robinson did well too, and I think it was just a little clumsy by Glenn Johnson. He was just a little bit maybe too casual in the ball he attempted to play.
Agger's ball forward, seized upon by Kipu. By Timo. Another example of how difficult it is to get the weight of passes right on this pitch. That one just sat up as it was about to be played forward.
Yeah, and that's a good sign as well from Joe Allen. You know, we know he likes to pass the ball an awful lot, knock it about in midfield, but it's good to see him looking for that more kind of incisive ball forward.
Now an opportunity. Aspas round the goalkeeper. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that took a huge bobble. I hope the replay shows one for his sake.
Yeah, well, he's just gestured again as if to say, you know, the surface is not helping me there, and I don't think it did. You know, once he latches onto it, it's a nice touch, but look at the bobble. And, you know, he's not expecting the win just at the last minute when he's trying to get his foot behind the ball. And all he can do in the end is just get underneath it, and there's the result. That's a shocking bobble.
Certainly can't legislate for those as a striker. Ball touch in the midfield gives Aspas a cheap possession again. This time it's Alberto. Two Spaniards not on the same wavelength that time. Sergio Van Dijk has been replaced by Bo Salosa, who scored against Saudi Arabia in Indonesia's penultimate international. Player who scored more than 100 goals in less than 150 league games in Indonesia. It's a straight swap up front. Bonetho. Kipu. Tofik. Bastomi. So loss of the substitute, waiting patiently, the number 7 inside the penalty area. In from Kipu. Here is Salosa. Probably a shot on target by Timo. This is better from Indonesia. Glenn Johnson able to steer the ball out of harm's way, and all of a sudden there was genuine pressure from the men in red.
Yeah, I think there's been a bit more oomph from them all around second half Indonesia. It's as if to say, well, we're not going to fold like we did against Arsenal. We're just going to keep energy levels high, and Glenn Johnson had to be sharp enough to deal with that.
First corner of the second half, Indonesia's fourth of the game. Header away by Robinson. And the break could be on here for Philippe Coutinho. Looking up to see what he has in the way of support. Aspas. Back for Coutinho. Still, Liverpool not making the most of that kind of opportunity by failing to hit the target.
But as soon as he picked that up, Coutinho, you know, he was looking all the while as to where Aspas was in his position to his right. Head up, you know, every 2 or 3 strides, and in the end it had to go back to him, and he was just looking for the side footer into the top corner and couldn't quite execute it. But, you know, a decent break again from Liverpool.
Nice pass from Johnson. Johnson again, forwarded by Bastomi. Here's Alberto pressurising and under hit back pass by Igbonifo.
Yeah, keeper bailed him out, but Igbonifo, I think, would have been a little worried for just a moment or two then.
Downing's ball in, Igbonifo again getting his head to it. Lucas. Joe Allen. Robinson. Toure. Coutinho back to Alberto after a nice touch from the Spaniard in the midfield. Robinson.
That's nice to see as well, isn't it, from Jack Robinson, that he had the confidence to go and take that on, take the shot on, you know, and he struck it very, very well. A little bounce in front of the keeper, and he did well. Meiga did very well to get behind it and just palm it away.
Yet to score a senior goal in his career, Jack Robinson. Half of his games coming on loan at Wolves last season. He was unable to stop the Molineux men succumbing to a second successive relegation. Johnson with a poor defensive header. Bonai. Toure sticking to his task, claimed that he played it off Titus Bonai. That's gone out of play. Indonesia throw. Liverpool start the season in earnest against Stoke at Anfield. Aston Villa away follows that before Manchester United at the short journey across the East Lancs Road.
Yeah. End of August, and looking at it overall, I know a lot of Liverpool fans are still living the area of June. A lot of Liverpool fans are saying chance to get off to a great start. Yeah, tough fixture against Manchester United, of course, but not until November and December do the months get a little bit tougher, you would say. So Liverpool can rack up you know, some good wins if all goes to plan.
Whipped in by Downing. Titus Bonai. Kipu. Well, the linesman wasn't at all sure what was going on there. Robinson thought he was fouled. The linesman began to put his flag up. And Robinson almost stopped seeing the flag being raised, and then they continued. Liverpool not exposed.
Yeah, it was too late by then, really, because Robinson was out of position. It looked as if he was given a gentle nudge.
Both corners in this second half have gone to the hosts. In from Bastoni. Titus Bonet yet again able to steal a march on the defenders and get the header in on goal.
Yeah, Kolo Toure as well having a moan. I think Liverpool have got to have somebody in front of an Indonesian player near post like that. I think they've got to deal with that. It's a couple of times now that Mignolet's had a moan at somebody getting a free header in that position.
Well, the substitutions will be much more regular in a moment. Luis Alberto trying to find his way through. He can't emerge inside the penalty area with possession. Liverpool about to make a host of changes, as you can see. Lucas. Coutinho. Foul on Iago Aspas is the cue for a whole host of changes. Taufik is the player coming off for Indonesia. And Pelu will come on to replace him. So amongst the Liverpool changes will come Fabio Borini, Martin Skrtel. Two changes at half-time, of course. Imagine that the other 8 outfield players will all be replaced now. Jordan Henderson, Samurai Saidi also coming on. Jordan Ibe. Raheem Sterling as well. A different feel to the game for the final 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I think Brendan Rodgers will be hoping, you know, similar to what we saw from Arsenal, that the substitutions will inject a kind of a freshness and an energy to it now, and maybe, you know, take it on to a more comfortable advantage. That was like sending for the cavalry, that
one. Decent save from the free kick. Henderson, Borini, and he wins the corner. And no goal kick given.
It was a well-hit free kick that certainly tested Mega. He was up to it again, you know, reacted well. I don't think it was too pacey.
Here's Joe Allen. Sterling. And Liverpool happy to adopt a shoot-on-sight policy now with all the substitutes having come on.
Yeah, worth a try again from Sterling, but I think this time the Indonesian stopper. I think he realised that that was just drifting wide.
Liverpool on the back foot just for a moment now. Very disappointing effort from Taufik.
Yeah, it's a decent header clear as well from Wisdom, but you know, hitting it first time like that on the run, it's very, very tough to get over that and keep it on target.
Great to see Martin Kelly back after the horrendous injury problem that he suffered against Manchester United last season. Saidi. Another one who's been linked with a move through the outdoor at Anfield. Henderson. Allen. Patient probing from Liverpool, with Jordan Ivey making his way into central position. Henderson and Barini both there as well. And the cross doesn't find them.
Yeah, Sterling left, Ivey right. Saidi is just playing now off Barini, who's the lone striker.
Kelly ruptured the anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee 10 months ago. And certainly missed by Liverpool. Sterling trying to take them all on. Just as though this band of young substitutes have been made aware of the fact that Arsenal came on and scored 6 in the second half. The message is, go out and see what you can do with 25 minutes of the match remaining.
Yeah, I think you have to take into account the conditions. Very warm, the pitch isn't the best, we've spoken about that, so it's not been the kind of most fluid performance, but certainly when you bring on as many as Brendan Rodgers has at this stage of the game, then you can see the extra pace that's been generated, and there's certainly much more urgency now in what Liverpool are contributing.
Robinson. Henderson for Kelly. Barini. Allen. Again, the idea was right. Bernard Sinaga is going to be brought on here by Indonesia, whose last cap was in that 10-0 defeat to Bahrain last year. It can only get better. And skipper Mohamed Roby is the player being replaced, Kernis Mega. It's the captain's armband for the 20 minutes that remain. Saidi. Barini misses his kick. And again, the bar saves Indonesia. Raheem Sterling this time, the player denied.
Yeah, I think if Barini gets good contact on this, he probably does score. But in the end, it's just very unlucky. I think he strikes it really well here, but it's just sat up slightly too high for Raheem Sterling. And he's just underneath it enough to, again, like the one in the first half from Alberto, to see it glance the top of the crossbar. Could and probably should have been the second.
A couple of goals from last season as he found the net against Reading and Sunderland. I've seen plenty of the ball since coming on here. Saidi. He's done well to clip it in. IB. A difficult chance for him to either leant back to try and get something on it.
That's the problem. Ideally, you want to be coming onto those, and you can maybe say he was in a little too early, just waiting for Saidi's delivery. When you're backpedaling like that, it's very difficult to generate the power, and sometimes, you know, they can just loop, which that one did. And I think had it been low enough, you make the save.
Header from Skirtle. No problems for Mignolet. Good defending by a combination of Skirtle and Wisdom, providing Bonai a clear run to the ball.
Yeah, and that's good as well from Mignolet. You know, you give a shout. The important thing as well, that they know you're coming, your whereabouts.
Sterling doing his best to pull it back for Barini. They've hit the bar twice, but it's more than an hour now since Liverpool scored. IB. Saidi. Challenged by Sinaga. Pelu. Bonai taking on Robinson. Calmly dealt with by Andre Wisdom.
Yeah, but it must be frustrating for Jackson F. Thiago, the Brazilian coach in Indonesia, at times when you see good work like that from Bonai, and then it's just kind of an aimless ball into the box. The important thing is to retain it, recycle it, don't give it away.
Bastomi. Allen. Barini. Sterling switch of play for Kelly. Henderson. IB. Playing it forward, and Indonesia, as you'd imagine, just restricted to counter-attacking football. They will be delighted with the level of their performance and the score. Kipu, the latest player to be replaced. Martinez Pay, who can play anywhere on the right flank, is the man that's come on to replace him. Allen, now Henderson. Saidi. Whether or not you think it is a valid comparison, I'm sure that people will look at the results in isolation. Arsenal stuck 7 past Indonesia. Liverpool so far only 1. Henderson fires over the top. People will be comparing those 2 results and drawing conclusions, be they valid or not.
Yeah, well, I think in the end the finishing from Arsenal was very good, and I think, you know, that Liverpool bench there might just be looking at 1 or 2 of the earlier chances. Luis Alberto, Raheem Sterling just now, and hitting the crossbar. Maybe it could be 3 by now on another night, possibly so. But I think you have to bring into mind as well the fact that Indonesia have worked hard. I think there's been more industry about them tonight, and clearly they would have gone out vulnerable. Probably would have gained a little bit of confidence at half-time because of the way it stood, and they've just decided to hang in there and continue to work hard second half. And I think if anything they've said, well, we ain't conceding 7 tonight, and yeah, they have made it harder for Liverpool. I must admit, Jim, I think with the changes and the personnel, we saw Brendan Rodgers introduced tonight, Liverpool haven't been like what we saw towards the end of last season, like that performance at Newcastle, for example, when they hit so many goals up there. So he still has a lot to get out of him. It's very early in pre-season here.
Indonesia has certainly shown more savvy tonight.
I think they've worked at getting behind the ball and getting it, you know, tighter to Liverpool a little bit quicker. I thought they sat off Arsenal far too much, and well, they know that by now.
We have a corner conceded by Andre Wisdom with just over 10 minutes remaining. Good job Coutinho did score. And had he not scored that early goal, there was a little bit of pressure on here. It could have been different. In swinger from Sinaga. Missed by both Henderson and Skirtle. And good strength shown by Ibe. Getting the better of Tina's Pay to win the throw. Jordan Henderson going into the last 10 minutes. Sterling onside here, beaten the trap. Side netting only.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a ball inside for Barini, but I don't blame Sterling for having a go. I think he has to. It sat up lovely for him as well. And unfortunately, he's just cut across this a little bit, and as a result, it swerved outside that near post. Beat the keeper, but just caught the side netting, and that's another chance. You probably would have been looking at that than fired across the keeper for a better chance of scoring.
Substitution which just breaks up the flow of the game. Ahmad Jufrianto, who won his first cap against Holland last month, is the latest player to be introduced.
Good spot from Jordan Henderson as well on the run. Sterling managing to stay on side. It was a lovely early ball, just catches the defence out, that element of surprise.
Saidi winning the free kick. Jufrianto's first contribution to take down his opponent. Asaidi, now Barini. And the goal in the final 7-8 minutes could be a real settler after his miss against Preston last week and the criticism that invoked. Ibe. Asaidi trying to make something happen. Bonifo just there ahead of him.
Barini knows that, you know, a huge part of his game has to involve goals. You know, he has to get more clinical, more ruthless.
Movement off the ball from Sterling. And it's a free kick. Challenged by Sanadi, clearly outside the penalty area. Play again by Raheem Sterling. Another opportunity for Liverpool from a set piece. Set pieces have been disappointing so far. Different personnel on now. What will they be able to do from here?
That was nice skill. Just a little nutmeg, slipped it through his legs, and Sanali just clipped him as he tried to carry on. Sterling.
Something's riled Bonifo. Disappointing free kick again from Henderson. Sinaga easily able to clear.
Well, if he's looking for the near post and like that, he's either played it too early or somebody just hasn't made the run. Not much of a friendly now.
We haven't seen Christian Gonzalez yet, the Uruguayan-born striker in the Indonesian squad, who's a reputation with some justification for being the bad boy of football in this part of the world. Gonzalez, a player who has punched a manager, butted and hit opponents, spat at a referee. Some game that was. He has done that over the space of a few years, which doesn't condone it, of course. Henderson. Barini offside.
Yeah, he was when it was played. He was just round the back a little too soon, Barini. You wouldn't be happy, would you, if you were his teammate for doing that? You know, if you're looking to get back in the game, it's not going to be like that from Pele. I mean, he's miles away from goal, and yet he just kind of panics and fires one.
Sanaga's effort takes the deflection. Corner to Indonesia. Liverpool haven't won this yet. Sanaga's delivery. There is Mondre Wisdom. Ibe. Haste to burn on the counter-attack. This is better from Liverpool. Saidi making a run and through the middle, and surely this will be number 2. Raheem Sterling doubles the lead, 3 minutes from time.
Yeah, and since he came on, he's looked really lively, Sterling, and if anybody deserves a goal, it's probably him, because he's come close on another couple of occasions. But what about Jordan Ibe? I mean, the afterburners were on there, and I wanted him to keep going in many ways to see if he could kind of walk it all the way in himself. But it was a phenomenal burst by him. And once he found Saidi, he does the right thing as well and just plays it to his right, and it's a simple tap in. And that's a wonderful break. And maybe Indonesia just getting a little carried away by looking for that equaliser, late equaliser, and leaving themselves kind of a little short at the back.
Sterling with a goal, but a great contribution, as you say, from Jordan Ibe. Showed up very well in the first half. Just started against Preston last week. A good cameo performance from him tonight as well. Took on Indonesia on the counter, but Mignolet doesn't have a save to make at his near post. And Salosser it was with the attempt.
Yeah, and again, I think, you know, he apologised to his teammates because probably wasn't the right option. You know, he should have been looking to square that rather than go for something on the acute angle.
Ibe. He's only 17, he's improving all the time. How far away is he from being a regular starter, do you think, for Liverpool?
Well, I think, you know, when you look at, I suppose, the one they all look up to now is Raheem Sterling and what he did. You know, at that age, it would take something quite remarkable to produce the consistency. You know, Sterling found it difficult to do. But, I mean, if he carries on producing that kind of football and show that kind of pace and good control at that kind of speed, then he will get his chances.
Going from Saidi.
We've seen lots of speedsters over the years, Jim, that, you know, leave people for dead, but then, you know, they don't have the control or the end product to follow it up. Jordan Ibe will know by now that that's what he needs to back it up with, and if he, you know, if he does continue to do that, I know they've got, they feel he's got huge potential. And he knows that if he can just deliver, you know, a little bit more, then he will certainly get his turn.
Flares and fireworks in the stand as the game goes into stoppage time. Sterling, 3 additional minutes. Ball too deep for Barini, but Liverpool have a corner, which is their first of this second half.
You'll never walk alone in full voice again around the stadium.
Sterling's effort. Blocked by Maitimo. Skirtle. Beneath her there, ahead of Ibe. 4 from Jufrianto. Titus Bonai. Skirtle's clearance only falling for Sanadi. overall impressions of tonight's performance?
I think it's been a decent performance from Liverpool. I wouldn't say it's been spectacular. They can play a lot better than this. You have to take into account the conditions. I think they'll be glad to see the back of this surface and move on. But the most important thing they'll get out of tonight, again, of course, was the conditioning they were looking for. You know, they'll all be the better for this. And you know what, an experience in an arena that's just full of Liverpool shirts, and You'll Never Walk Alone being sung as it is like that. I think the boys will probably remember this one, okay? And now it's on to Australia and step it up another gear. They've been good value for the win, no doubt, Liverpool. It's a pity, I think, and they might feel so as well, the players, that they couldn't have maybe just produced a little bit more and rammed in another couple of goals.
Aside, he just couldn't quite keep that in play. Indonesian defenders expecting the offside flag to come up. More miles on the clock and a solid evening's work by Liverpool Football Club, with goals from Coutinho in the opening 10 minutes and Raheem Sterling 3 minutes from time after a great break from Jordan Ibe. They now head to Australia, as I say, with more miles on the clock and a decent win behind them. From Jim Begley, myself, Jim Proudfoot, and the rest of the team, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on ESPN.